remember this story, right? It came out several weeks ago. Reds announcer former, I should say, Reds announcer Thom Brennaman. So he used a gay slur on the air. Have a listen to this. This is what Thom Brennaman said to lose his job. Have a listen.
The fag capitals of the world. Reds Live, the pregame show presented by Ray St. Clair Roofing.
It's so funny when I hear that and sad, but funny at the same time because he says something, an off-color racial, or I shouldn't say racial, gay slur, and then he goes into his, well, welcome back. It's in the bottom of the sixth inning. Like nothing happened. Like what an idiot, right? Who talks like that, first of all? Especially when you have microphones in front of you and you're in the workplace. So he lost his job doing football games and doing baseball games, obviously. And he said that he realizes that what he said incredibly hurt a lot of people when he said that homophobic slur live on TV. And Brennaman later apologized. In fact, he apologized mid-game and was quickly suspended from the Reds gig. So the 56-year-old did an interview. He spoke with the New York Post about the backlash he faced following the incident, saying, quote, "Believe me, I know there are a lot of people who are still very angry, and I understand that." And he's right. There are a lot of people that are angry. He said, quote, "The realization of the incredible hurt that I've caused using that word has been breathtaking." He also said it's been absolutely amazing the amount of grace and forgiveness and support. I couldn't even tell you what happened or where it came from. He also went on to say that. But this is where it gets kind of interesting. He said, look, I said it's all that matters. The rest of it is irrelevant. I said it, and I own it, and I'm the one who has to live with it. He said, if I get another chance, someone will be hiring a better person than the person who walked out the door that night, August 19th. So my question is, do you believe him when he says he's a better person? What is this guy talking about? He said a gay slur, and now because he lost his job and there's been some accountability, he says I'm a better person now? JD?
Do I believe him? Yeah, probably. I think that he believes that he is a better person who and what he really means by that, honestly, is that he is going to watch what he says. I mean, this guy's a professional. He's been doing this for a long time.
But does that mean you're a better person?
No, I'm not. Can you really say that he is or isn't a better person now?
I don't think he's a better person. I think he got caught.
You don't think that he learned his lesson?
Learning a lesson on something doesn't mean you're a better person.
You think that he will use that word behind closed doors?
Yes, I do.
Consistently.
Yes, I do.
That will not change.
Yes, I do.
But he will be much more
aware,
mindful of what he's saying when he's actually in the studio.
That I believe.
And to you, that doesn't mean he's a better person.
Yeah, that I believe.
So the question is, do you think that he uses that word all the time behind closed doors?
Let me tell you.
You think he does because
let me
of that particular situation?
Yeah, let me explain. So if you have a microphone in front of you and you're in the workplace and you use that word, I think it's very reasonable to say that he probably uses gay slurs behind closed doors. Now, if he never uses if someone came out and said, you know what, I'm gay and I'm a friend of this guy and he's made amends, he's donated to blah, 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 I've never heard him use, he's supported the gay community, then I would say, yeah, maybe he is a better person. But just because he's going to be more mindful of it when he's on set doesn't necessarily mean you're a better person. I'm sorry, I'm just not buying that. I'm not buying it. I think he's sorry because of what happened to him. That's what I think.
Here's what I think. I think what he should have said is that you're going to get a better person in studio, on set, in public. That
you're going to have somebody more careful. I guess.
Which technically is the same thing. I mean, if this wasn't caught on video or on audio,
still do it.
But no one would know about it.
Well, listen,
obviously,
to me, it's very simple, and I don't want to.
So as it relates to someone that's hiring him, if he's more mindful of what he says before he goes on air or while he's in studio, then technically that is a better person while he's on the job. Mm-hmm. But does that make him a better person in his entire life, assuming that he uses this word on a consistent basis behind the scenes? No, not necessarily. But I do agree that it makes him a better person as relates to someone that's hiring him to work in that particular profession. I
suppose it makes him more professional and better at his job.
Well, yeah, it
I wouldn't say it makes him a better person. But you know what? I go back to what I've said before when it came to Mel Gibson and all this other stuff. I always say, when you're drunk, you get the real you. Usually, if you're an angry drunk, you're an angry person. If you're a laughable drunk, you're usually a fun person to hang around. And if you're a racist drunk, well, chances are you're probably a racist and an anti-Semite. In this case, Mel Gibson. Mel Gibson's not sorry. He still has the same views. Mel Gibson hates black people and he hates Jewish people, period. Period. End of story. And I think it's a microcosm when you're in the workplace and when you have microphones around you and you talk like that. I'm going to go back to Donald Trump and then we got to take a break. Donald Trump had microphones around him. He was being interviewed by Bush, right? He's in a bus being interviewed with people he didn't even know. And he says, grab him by the P word, talking about women. If that's the way you talk in public when you have microphones around you, regardless of whether you think the microphones are on or not, because Thom Brennaman didn't think the microphones were on. If that's the way you talk in the workplace or in a public setting like that, imagine how you talk behind closed doors. I think that is a very logical opinion. Now, I hope Thom Brennaman is a better person. I'm not buying it, but I hope he is a better person. I think the best thing he can do is spend some time in the gay community and talk to people within the gay community. Maybe that will make him a better person. I think he does deserve a second chance eventually. I hope he does get a gig somewhere down the line, because I actually do think he's pretty good at what he does. But that just changed everything in that split second. And I know what people say. In 2 or 3 seconds, you shouldn't be judged 2 or 3 seconds your entire life. Well, tell that to murderers and people that kill somebody in the heat of passion. Yes, I do think you could be judged in 2 or 3 seconds. It's how you respond to these situations that makes you who you are. So far, Thom Brennaman is saying all the right things. I give him credit for that. But saying you're a better person now might be a little stretch. That's yet to be disclosed. Let's find out how he lives his life now for the next few years. That's all.